Welcome back everybody on Periscope. We are now off of HMS Archer, back onto, I say dry land, but we're still bobbing about on the Thames. And there you can see Bladerunner docked as well. We're going to go over there, talk to Rob the coxswain as well, find out a little bit more about Bladerunner. But as you guys are coming in, please do remember to share the broadcast. Swipe up on Android, swipe left to right on iOS, and click the share button. You can share on Twitter, Facebook, and on Periscope. I'd love it if you could do so. But we're joined by Clive. Clive, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody watching?
Yeah, I'm Tech Runner Clive Langmead. I'm part of the fleet robotics team for Unmanned Warrior, which is an exercise that's happening in October, actually in Scotland, and for which Bladerunner will be one of the participants.
So what we've been seeing today, Bladerunner, which is docked just over there, is one of 40, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got 40 autonomous systems or robotic systems coming up to Scotland for Unmanned Warrior. And basically it's to test the systems in an operational environment. We have an exercise twice a year called Joint Warrior, and we're putting, as it were, the robots out for trial as the second in the year for Joint Warrior in October, and we're calling that Unmanned Warrior. And the exercise is planned to involve the various autonomous systems. Some of them are flying, some of them are underwater, and some of them, like Bladerunner, are on the surface of the water. So we've got the three elements to play with.
And just going to show everyone watching, Bladerunner. It's hard to believe that this could be completely autonomous and driving without, without anyone sitting in there. What the main uses will there be for the Royal Navy looking to the future? I know this is just a testing bed right now, but as we look to the future, what sort of things could it be used for?
Well, generally, of course, there's a sweep of autonomous systems in a lot of things anyway. We all know about drones. Well, this is used principally to see how well they work on the surface. Obviously, the sea is a fairly tough place, and we've arranged Bladerunner to move at tremendous speeds. We've got a powerful wave countering hull there that goes really fast, and we want to see how the systems work at speed for shadowing other vessels and for keeping an eye open. It's what we call I-Star, which is basically reconnaissance, keeping a look on radar and visually, and we're seeing if a robot system can do that better than someone sitting in a boat getting cold.
There's lots of people asking questions about the actual craft itself, so I think now would be a good time to kind of walk towards it. So if you do have any questions, I've already seen in there, like I think it was Roman was asking how fast did it go, and people saying is it weaponized. Let's head over and speak to Tony, who is the coxsman of the craft itself, and he'll be able to...
of course say that Tony is there as a safety coxsman. The robot craft obviously cannot go up and down the river without a coxswain there making sure it's okay. I mean,
it's perfectly capable to, but it's due to restrictions.
Absolutely. Well, the Port of London Authority does not have the permissions to do that.
Tony, good to meet you. This is something special, huh?
Yes, it is. We like it.
So tell us a little bit about the craft itself.
11 metres long, stepped hull, necks, race boat. It's got twin 200 race tuned engines on the back, and she goes pretty quick.
So there's people saying, how fast can it go? You must get this question all the time.
We do, yeah. It can go anywhere between sort of 50, 60 knots.
And it's been obviously specially designed, especially with the shape of the hull, to be travelling at those speeds. Is it a bumpy ride?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite smooth. It depends on the sea state. But yes, it can be quite smooth. In rougher sea states, just a little bit more bumpy.
Lots of people also saying, what sort of things can it be used for?
What sort of things can it be used for? Several things, mainly high-speed runs. Stuff that I'm not allowed to comment on.
Yeah, there's a lot of secrecy around this. Obviously, it's an unmanned craft, so there's some things that we just can't talk about, but that adds a bit of interest, I think.
Yes.
So in terms of what is one of the hardest things, both, I don't know how much you can talk about the unmanned, but you were, going around London today. What's one of the hardest things about coxswain this vehicle and driving it?
Particularly on the Thames, it's the lower speeds. She likes to sit at around about 20 knots, which is great. But all the wash that's on the Thames, it's a little bit difficult to control.
And I'm guessing extremely bumpy as well.
Not extremely, no.
Just fair enough. Were there any questions coming in the chat? I will put them to Tony. Also, Clive is still here if you have any
Rob,
questions. Sorry, Rob.
Rob.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't know why I called you Tony.
That's okay, no
problem. I haven't even met a Tony today. Can we talk about some of the features? Are there any features that you want to... Because again, this is quite a secret shrouded thing. Are there any features that we can talk about that we haven't yet?
I can tell you that the vessel can be operated in an unmanned state.
Yep. Amazing. And what does that involve? Is that completely autonomous, or is it someone using a remote control?
It's completely autonomous.
So it can be completely autonomous. And, you know, is there, obviously, autonomy, you can say go from point A to point B, but are there smart systems like obstacle avoidance and things like that?
There are. There's lots and lots of smart technology, and lots of it I can't talk about.
Okay, you're starting to get the idea of this interview, guys, with the fact that, like we've been saying, it's a new developing technology, and most of the stuff therefore can't be talked about. But we can show it to you because it does look very James Bond-esque, especially with that long hull. And it's awesome to be this up close and personal to it. I can point out just there, guys, those are the cameras. There's like a 360 array of cameras so that those using the craft and steering it can see. Very cool. Alright everybody, we will end it there. I'll end on a shot. Rob, thank you very much for showing us around the vessel. And also Clive, thank you for talking about... Oh, let's shake with this hand. Thank you very much for talking about Unmanned Warrior and what you are going to be doing and the whole exercise is going to be doing with this. If you have any questions, feel free to @Royal Navy on Twitter and ask them. You can @me and I'll forward them on as well. But I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing what's been going on down here in London today on the Thames and getting to experience both, which you can see behind me, HMS Archer and this beautiful vessel. And I'm sure a very useful vessel in the future with the Royal Navy, Bladerunner. Guys, it's been a pleasure. See you tomorrow. Bye.